let's go back to when you first, the screenplay,
Yep.
what was it about the most that kind of, from the director's standpoint, the most challenging part of doing a story in real time, or virtually real time?
That's a good question. First, I'm going to say something very important. My first language is French, so sometimes my answer will be weird.
Please, we're good.
Okay, perfect. Second, okay, so the question was the challenge about doing a movie in a kind of a 24-hour movie in a real time. The challenge of it was obviously shooting all night long, so we have to, that's a technical challenge to shoot. It's tough to shoot in the night, and then also it's complicated in the editing also, because you have to use what you shot and what is in the story, because if you take off a part, there's something missing, you cannot tell the story, so that was the challenge of it.
And now Mike Monroe's role was very demanding, physically and emotionally.
Yeah.
What did you see in her that made you know she was perfect to play the part?
Well, first in some of them, a lot of movies I saw with her, especially It Follows. She, but not only It Follows, but she's for sure a strong woman. She's not only physically, but not physically, but she's a strong woman. And she's an athlete also. She was doing kite surfing, and I knew that it was okay for her to run for 33 days of shooting, nighttime, And as an actress, I think that she has something special, for expressing emotion without telling it,
Yeah. And how fun is it having your premiere tonight at the Tribeca Film Festival in New York?
Well, it's my first time, not in New York, but in Tribeca Film Festival. For me, it's an honor. First, because it's a great festival. Second, because it's New York. New York is one of my favorite cities. I'm so happy to be here. And there's a Leo House just right in front. First time I came in New York in 17 years old. I was staying there, at the Leo House. So I'm in front of this place 30 years after, and I'm presenting my film, which is awesome.
Okay, so when you first read the screenplay, what was it about the character that grabbed you?
When I looked it over, there was one scene that really stuck out that I think the deaf community really could relate to. And that's when the light keeps going off when I'm having this serious conversation with my daughter out in the backyard. It keeps going off, and it's so annoying, and it's a motion light, so I have to trigger it. At that point, with the light being off, I felt like I was deaf and blind, right? I was not able to hear or see, so it was an interesting scene, and I'm sure a lot of deaf people can relate to that experience. That got my attention first off. And then also, the idea of riding on in a rodeo. You would never think of a deaf person doing that.
So my last question, Troy, is what was the most important thing for you to be told visually with your character?
We had an ASL consultant to watch the sign production and to make sure that everything matches up with the audio. And so making sure that everything is very precise. And visually, that's what we focus on. For hearing people are more acoustic based. That's their problem, not mine.
All right, so my question, when you first read the screenplay, what was it about the story that made you want to come on board?
Well, I mean, for one thing, it's a very exciting, action-packed story, but more importantly, I mean, and coming from my character's side of it, it was like the family dynamic. The family, the theme of family rings true, I think, throughout this, and I kind of acted as a connective tissue to that, and that was really, it felt real and heartfelt to me.
Now, from the story standpoint, do you think, since it's virtually real time, that was kind of makes it a kind of a fun, different slant on storytelling?
Absolutely, yeah. I love the in real time story. It's more like real life in that way.